You have been visualizing it again and again. You close your eyes, you feel the emotion, you imagine the future, and then nothing changes. Or maybe it changes for a moment, a glimpse, a shift, a tiny confirmation, and then you are back in the same loop, the same thoughts, the same space. If you have ever wondered why it feels like your vision is powerful but not landing, this is why. Visualization doesn't manifest reality, frequency does. There is a quantum difference between imagining a future and broadcasting it, between seeing what you want and becoming the version of yourself who already lives it. In the quantum field, visualization is only a small part of the equation. The real key, the hidden code, is your frequency. And unless that frequency matches the reality you are calling in, it stays just out of reach, no matter how vividly you see it. You have been told to ask, believe, receive. But in truth, the field doesn't respond to requests. It responds to coherence, to energetic integrity, to your embodied signal. Not the one you project in your 20-minute meditation, but the one you carry in your breath, your choices, your micro-reactions, your emotions. Because the universe isn't listening to what you say, it is listening to what you are. That is the code. And once you understand it, once you see how subtle the shift really is, everything begins to change. Not because you tried harder, not because you thought more positively, but because you stopped chasing, you stopped asking, you stopped reinforcing the idea that your dream life was far away, and instead you started treating it like a frequency you could step into right now. This frequency is not theoretical, it is not abstract, it is vibrational, and it has a specific texture to it, a calm certainty, a steady rhythm. It doesn't rush, it doesn't crave, it doesn't wonder when things will finally shift. It already knows. Because when you act from the identity of someone who has already received, the field adjusts, because it must. So, why does that shift feel so difficult? Why is it so easy to visualize something beautiful, and so hard to hold the energy of "it is already mine"? Because everything in your past has trained you to vibrate in the frequency of "not yet." You have been programmed to wait, to earn, to prepare, to deserve. And now, for the first time, you are being asked to abandon all of that and simply embody what once felt like a distant dream. It feels unnatural at first. It feels like lying to yourself. But that is only because your nervous system hasn't caught up to your truth. Because this frequency we are stepping into, it is not new to your soul. It is just unfamiliar to your body. And part of this journey is teaching your body what your soul already knows. You are not chasing your future. You are remembering your alignment with it. You might be thinking, but how do I stay in that frequency when nothing around me has changed yet? The answer is, you become the change first. You decide that your vibration leads and the evidence follows. You shift your focus from what is missing to what is already here, from what you want to what you are. And as you do that, day after day, a new energy takes root, one that doesn't collapse under pressure, one that doesn't dissolve when the world gets loud again. It becomes your baseline, and that is when the field begins to bend toward you, not because you forced it, but because you finally matched it. We are going to explore not just the idea of manifestation, but the frequency that actually unlocks it. We will talk about how to shift out of the cycle of lack, how to act as if without faking it, how to move like it is already yours, not because you are trying to impress the universe, but because you are finally living in harmony with it. There is a code, a precise energetic rhythm, and once you learn how to tune into it, everything around you starts to respond, gently, powerfully, consistently. Let's make something clear right now. The quantum field doesn't care about what you want. It responds to what you are. It doesn't decode your vision board. It doesn't weigh your intentions. It simply mirrors the frequency you are broadcasting. And that frequency isn't coming from your goals. It is coming from your identity. Not the identity you talk about, but the one you live from. The one that shapes how you walk into a room, how you react to silence, how you carry yourself when no one is watching. Because in the quantum world, reality isn't something you get. It is something you generate from the inside out. So what does this mean in real life? It means if you visualize abundance but live from fear of spending, your field is receiving fear. If you visualize love but reject compliments or push intimacy away, your field is registering resistance. If you visualize expansion but speak about your life like you are stuck, the field believes you. Because the quantum field doesn't interpret your dreams, it reads your coherence. This is why so many people feel frustrated. They're doing everything right on the surface, but their thoughts and emotions are not aligned. They're trying to manifest from the mind, while the body is still signaling fear, unworthiness, or survival mode. The result? Mixed signals, static. And the quantum field mirrors that static. But when your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions say the same thing, the field has no choice but to reflect that back. This is called coherence. And in that state, your frequency becomes stable, strong, magnetic. Think about it this way. Desire without identity is just noise. But when your identity and your desire merge, your signal becomes pure. The field doesn't respond to desire. It responds to certainty.
So, how do we step into that certainty, especially when there is no evidence yet? You create the evidence, not outside you, within you. You begin showing up as the version of yourself that already lives the reality you have been visualizing. You stop waiting to feel successful. You start dressing, speaking, walking like someone who is, not because you are faking it, but because you are remembering who you actually are beneath the doubt. 𝗛𝗛𝗏𝗧𝗘𝗥𝗦 called this living from the end. 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪 calls it firing and wiring new patterns. But the essence is the same. You stop trying to become and start being. That is the quantum frequency we are talking about. It is not something you chase, it is something you choose to inhabit again and again until your nervous system gets used to it, until your self-talk stops sabotaging it, until it becomes so natural you can't even remember what it felt like to vibrate in lack. And yes, it takes courage, because stepping into that version of yourself before the world reflects it back can feel lonely, disorienting. But that is just your past identity trying to protect its place in your energy field. Let it be there, acknowledge it, but don't let it drive. You are the signal now. You become the calibration point. You become the reality. It is about finding the frequency of already being and living from that. It is about training your system to feel safe in the space of enough. Because when your subconscious feels safe, your energy expands. And when your energy expands, the field responds.
We have reached the part that most people misunderstand. Acting as if. Those two words have been mocked, oversimplified, because on the surface they sound like pretending, like putting on a costume. But in truth, acting as if is not pretending. It is frequency training. When you act as if it is already yours, you are aligning your body with your desired signal before the world gives you permission. You are not waiting for proof. You are becoming the proof. And in doing so, you are sending a clear, steady message to the field. I am ready. I have arrived. Match me. So how do you do it? Start small. You don't need to overhaul your life. You need to change the way you move through it. The way you speak about yourself. The way you hold your posture. The way you respond when something beautiful happens. Do you receive it fully, or do you question if it is real? Every one of these micro movements tells the field what you believe you deserve. If you were already living your highest reality, how would you wake up tomorrow morning? What would you wear? How would you breathe, eat, walk, speak? This isn't about aesthetics. It is about energetic posture. Would you still shrink your energy in certain rooms? Would you still apologize for your truth? Or would you begin choosing like someone who trusts themselves deeply? You see, when you shift your signal, everything downstream begins to adjust. That is why some people call this quantum shifting. Because your choices, subtle as they seem, act like pebbles dropped into the field, creating ripples far beyond what your eyes can see. So instead of asking, when will it happen? Ask, how would I move today if I knew it already had? That is where your behavior stops being reactive and starts being magnetic. When your words, tone, and presence begin to match the reality you have been visualizing, you are no longer trying to attract something. You are simply embodying the version of you that is already in alignment.
There are moments in your journey where everything feels suspended. You have done the inner work. You have stabilized your energy. You have stopped chasing. And yet, nothing big seems to happen. But deep within, something feels different. Your thoughts are quieter. Your nervous system feels safer. And then it happens. A number appears, repeated effortlessly. 3 digits that seem to follow you. It is 777. You might brush it off as a coincidence, but part of you, the part that is more attuned now, knows it is not random. It is a message, a subtle activation, a vibrational mirror. You weren't looking for a sign, and that is exactly why it came. Because the field doesn't respond to neediness, it responds to resonance. And 777 only appears when your field is aligned deeply enough for the quantum to whisper back. In spiritual traditions, the number 7 carries sacred symbolism, divine truth, inner mastery. When it triples, it becomes a vibrational signature of coherence. It signals that your thoughts, your actions, and your emotions are no longer contradicting each other. You have come into harmony. In quantum terms, 777 appears when the wave of potential is close to collapsing. The field has heard you, not through words, but through frequency. This number is not a reward, it is a resonance echo. It appears not to give you something, but to reflect what you have already become.
And here is where most people miss the power of it. They see 777 as a green light to relax, to step back. But this moment isn't about stepping away. It is about anchoring deeper. It is a threshold, and your role isn't to return to passivity. Your role is to hold the signal, stay in the current. Let the field keep sinking to you without interruption. You have heard that manifestations happen all of a sudden, but nothing in the quantum happens suddenly. What feels instant in the physical realm was built slowly in the invisible. 777 marks that tipping point. And yet, it is also an invitation to deepen your presence, to stop searching and start embodying, to notice how your body feels in this moment right now and ask, is this how the version of me who lives that reality would feel? Would they rush? Would they doubt? Or would they trust the structure forming beneath the surface? Because that is what this is. A structural shift. You are rewiring the foundation of who you are. And the number isn't telling you what's next, it is confirming what is here. So take a breath right now, a real one. Let yourself receive all of this. Let it settle into your system, not as new information, but as remembered truth. Feel your energy soften into the awareness that you have already changed. You are not waiting for the quantum shift. You are the quantum shift. Maybe no one told you this, but manifestation is not the art of getting what you want. It is the art of remembering who you are. And every frequency you have been trying to access, abundance, peace, love, already exists inside that remembrance. It is not outside of you, waiting to be earned. It is within you, waiting to be stabilized. And if something in this video met you at just the right moment, if it helped you connect a piece that has been floating just out of reach, then maybe this isn't just content. Maybe it is a mirror, a reflection of who you are becoming, a reminder that the frequency you have been visualizing isn't theoretical, it is vibrational, and you are finally living in it. If that feels true, if it resonates, then I invite you to stay connected with this space, to subscribe not because you are supposed to, but because it aligns. Because this isn't a channel, it is a frequency. And if you found yourself breathing differently while watching, you are already in it. We are not just watching videos here, we are practicing new timelines. We are not just consuming, we are collapsing possibility into form. We are not just learning, we are remembering. And I'm glad you are here. Let's keep shifting together. In the comments, leave a declaration. Leave 777. Let it be your anchor, your yes to the universe. Keep tuning, keep aligning. Welcome to Quantum Core.